And then if you never said anything to me, I would just be like, no, I haven't seen Buddy. Where is he? Why? Is he okay? Do I need to go to his house? Is he dead? He's probably dead. You should move on.
God. You want to come over? No, but like I was thinking about that and I was like, yeah, I don't really want a friend. Can you take your dog to the zoo?
I feel like I've seen dogs at the zoo. I've not gone to the zoo for...
I feel like my dogs would freak out at the zoo.
It's been 10 years since I was last at the zoo.
Dude, they have a new baby monkey.
Did you go to the zoo recently?
No, I saw a billboard that said, come check out the new baby monkey. It didn't say monkey. And I don't... Have you ever run into a thing where it's like, that's not a monkey. That's a chimp.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know the difference?
Size?
That can't be it. Is a gorilla a monkey or a chimp?
Neither. I think you have monkey, chimp, gorilla. You have the evolutions of like...
I thought they're all just types of monkey.
It's like Pokemon.
Yeah, they're all just types of manky.
I don't know the difference between a monkey, a chimp, and a gorilla.
I don't either. What's an orangutan?
That's what it is.
Every primate is just its own thing. Hey.
It's just like what we were talking about yesterday with vegetables. It's not plugged in. It's all the way over there. Oh no, it's by the cooler. Technical difficulties. But what we were talking about yesterday is vegetable isn't real.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a vegetable. Everything is like... Vegetable just means a part of a plant that we can eat.
I agree, Braden.
Okay. But everything else has its own like separate classification. So you have that we're a potato, right? It's a vegetable, but it's really just a root.
Right.
So
this all stemmed from talking about corn.
Yeah.
Because you guys tried to gaslight me.
Not me.
Everyone was against me. It was one versus all.
Oh yeah. In your head.
And you're like, corn's not a vegetable. I'm like, what is it then? A starch?
Yeah, it's crazy. Corn being a starch feels wrong.
What has starches besides vegetables?
Yeah.
Please don't make me look stupid. I don't actually know. What is a starch?
Potato.
Right? That's all I know.
Right? But a potato's a root. A starch is a type of vegetable.
But
I don't know.
What is a vegetable?
Vegetables don't exist. They're not real. Vegetables are fake news created by the liberal left.
So is it...
That's why they're like, eat your vegetables. They're trying to indoctrinate us.
Is a chimp just like the part of the primate you can eat?
Chimp is the part of the monkey that you can consume.
Yeah.
I don't know, but speaking of monkeys, I have a banana, and I just want to show you guys the best way to open up a banana.
Hello, and welcome to the Kickback podcast, where we discuss important things, such as, how do you open a banana? That's not right.
That's the right way to open a banana.
How did you even do that? It was pre-opened. I saw it.
Well, because I was...
Yes, perfect podcast etiquette. Yeah. Speaking of monkeys.
I started opening it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to show them the right way to open it.
I don't think you can make that sound, the ooh, ah, or whatever.
Why?
Isn't that Joe Rogan's podcast intro? Isn't that trademarked?
But isn't that like the same intro from like Futurama when it played?
No?
No, because that monkey came from somewhere on Adult Swim, I feel like.
Ooh, maybe somewhere on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Ooh, haha. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, what is that from? Oh no, that's triggering my monkey brain.
I'm pretty sure like you'd be watching Adult Swim, and it would do that before the intro of a specific like maybe producer that made shows or something. But
I don't know.
Now it says the Joe Rogan Experience afterwards, but it didn't always.
I thought they just do the monkey sound for like the clips that you share. Ooh, aha.
Oh.
Is it Joe saying that every time? That's what I want to know. Does he not start every interview with ooh, aha. So tell me about these vaccines.
That'd be great if you did. That'd be really great. No. I had something I wanted to say, and it's gone forever.
No, it's not. Bring it
Okay.
back.
All right. Well, I guess what we'll start off with is we just played Pixel Letter, which is like a Wordle on hard mode, even more so. I feel like it was so much harder than. Okay, and I'm the weird one. Why did you open the banana like that?
That's the right way to open a banana. You
No.
peel it from the top.
Okay. Takes it all in once. But Pixel Letter, if you've never played it before and you like Wordle, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's, I don't know, it's different. Because in Wordle, you fill out, oh, thank you, sir. Different, when you fill out the word, you get blacked out squares saying you cannot use this word. This one didn't do that. And this letter. And I feel like that made it so much harder. So I always remember that, like, oh, we used you earlier in this row, but I can't use it now, even though it wasn't blocked out. I didn't like get rid of my options for me.
It was interesting, but the pixels give you, I feel like, more information, but it just takes longer to process. It just doesn't automatically black out the stuff that is invalid.
Yeah, that's fair. Because everyone we got, with the exception of one, because I was gaslit, is we got in 3.
How are you gaslit?
River is a word.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That reminds me of programming, or it's like when you type one of the words that has something to do with the program you're writing or whatever, you type it a bunch of times, it starts to not look like a real word. Menu is a real word. Menu.
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 Menu. Or actually, this one helped me because I wrote the entire program it was for just a simple calendar app for one of my first classes. And I learned how to spell calendar correctly because I typed out the whole program, spelling it incorrectly.
Calendar.
Calendar, like ER. It's calendar. Which, why don't we just pronounce it like that? That's way cooler.
I think we pronounce weird words wrong all the time. Like
Name 7.
Forward, toward.
Never heard of those words.
Coward.
No!
You're a coward.
I need you to sail across the river. Get away from me.
Do you want me to div right into it?
Div right into the river. Oh, I saw one. It was really good, actually. It was like a whiteboard, and he was like teaching. It was just him as the teacher and him as the student, but it was like learning English, and it was EAR. What is that word?
EAR, ear.
Ear, right? Okay. And then he writes a B in front of it. What is it?
Bear.
Beer? No. No. BEAR. Bear. Put a D at the end. Baird? No. Beard. You remember EAR? It's pretty good.
English really is just a made-up language.
They all are, but
like even more so.
But English is like fan fiction of a language. It's like you can really tell.
Do other languages have the same production level of slang words that English does? Because I feel like every year we get new words that are slang that are like, what the hell are we saying now?
This might be super biased. I feel like English is kind of just the language of the internet. And I think that helps.
I think so too, because like going through the process of learning Spanish, like it's pretty structured on how you have to say things. Versus in English, you can say things in any orientation; it's still going to make sense.
I don't know if that's true. It might make sense, but it might not be correct. You've heard about the big red shiny ball?
Yeah.
The shiny big ball red ball? How would you describe a big red shiny ball?
A big red shiny ball.
But you can't mix up the words.
You can. It still makes sense, right?
A red shiny big ball?
Yeah.
It sounds wrong though. It sounds like you don't.
But it still makes sense. I don't know.
Right, but I think that's like when you, especially like you're learning low-level Spanish, they're not going to confuse you with the ear, beer, beard.
Right. Well, I
bear.
think maybe what I'm thinking of is like, if you want to go to a Mexican restaurant, right? We say Mexican restaurant that's Mexican, right? In Spanish, you have to just say what? Restaurante de Mexico, and that's it. And it's like, this is very like specific on how you have to say it.
I bet you don't have to say it like that. I bet once you actually learn the language, it's like
people or whatever.
Restaurant Ranteria or whatever.
Ranteria. Okay. Or like instead of saying I want a cheese burger or hamburger, it's hamburguesa con queso. I want a hamburger with cheese.
I bet there's different ways to order it. I bet there's
You're
a
saying
word
that
for like cheeseburger.
You're telling me that Duolingo is lying to me?
Not lying.
And it would just be queso hamburguesa?
No, this is the thing this is actually coming up in a lot of areas of life, I feel like. Where it's like,
Hamburguesa
I saw
queso?
a really good comic of it that was, no, just like learning in general, where it was like, oh, I don't want to mess it up, but it was like,
Don't do it wrong.
you can't have the square root of a negative number. That's a rule. And everyone's like, okay, that's a rule. And then you go like 2 classes higher and they're like, a square root of a negative number is actually just we call it. It's an imaginary number and you can use those in math and we do every day. And they're like, okay, yeah,
Okay.
now you can have a square root of a negative number.
Yeah.
And then it had like 2 or 3 other really good examples. And then it was like, yeah, your sex is determined by your X and Y chromosome or your X and X chromosome. It's like, okay, your sex is determined by your X and Y chromosome or your X and X chromosome. It's like, okay, a couple classes later, it's like, it can actually get a little bit more complicated, like depending on your hormone. Like some people have hormone, I don't want to say issues, but like they have certain abnormalities or whatever, where it's like they have the hormone in their body, but their body doesn't absorb it, or they absorb way more of it than necessary. So it's like you might
diabetes with insulin.
Kind of, yeah. I think that's production, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it's like sensitivities. And it's like you could have XY chromosomes, but because of some other thing that's going on in your body actually just develops fully female, how we would call it. It's like, so, and you could actually have XXY chromosomes. It's like, oh, we can't accept that actually. You'd hate science. It's like, no, it's just sometimes we teach the basics and then we start breaking rules that we said were rules at the beginning or whatever.
Like that's the, like where we learn BJJ, that's how they're instructed to teach the moves.
Yes, because that's how humans tend to learn better. You can't have all of the exceptions taught to you from the very beginning because it's too much.
Right, it's a lot. And it's like, yeah, I mean, when I get into master class, it's going to be like that too. A lot of the rules I'm learning right now are habits I'm going to learn to pass the test and then have to break to actually do well in masters.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, no, for sure.
What's up, girl? Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Got there.
Good job.
You.
Yeah, but it's just funny that people don't see it. But like, what I don't get is like, how can you not? I don't know. How can you not be faced with like an example of that? Like I said with the imaginary number one, which I get. Not everyone gets to imaginary numbers in math. I don't think it's that high level, but
no, it's like algebra 2.
But like also people just. I mean, I get it. Most math you don't. That was one of the. How are more people not upset about that lie? You need to learn how to do it, Braden, because you're not always going to have a calculator with you. Ooh.
Speaking of math, you got cat on your knee.
What does that have to do with math?
No, I just saw it and it was in my frame of view. I had to say something about it. So, Common Core math.
Uh-huh.
When I was getting out of high school, that was coming in, right? And I never had to deal with that, but looking at it, it always seemed so confusing to me.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, all these weird bits. And I actually, like, looked into it once, and it is such a better way to learn math.
What I don't understand is because I've never actually, like, fully looked into it, but I've had someone describe it to me as complicated. I looked at, like, 10 seconds online, and I was like, I think this is just how I do math in my head.
Yeah, exactly. That's what exact same thing, right? They're like, okay, because it was all in Common Core. A lot of it isn't just like 50 plus 70.
Yeah.
Right?
How do you do 78 plus 23?
78 plus 23. I'm gonna do the 8 and the 3, and then the 7 and the 2. 23.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
23 and 78. What does it go?
73. That's 100 and what? 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say 11.
I take the 78, and I'm like, how do I get this to the nearest 10? So I take 2 away from the 3 to make it 80. And then I have 80 plus 20, and then the 1 left over.
Yeah.
Which is what I've always done, and I think that's what Common Core tries to teach you.
Yeah, Common Core is just taking a larger number and breaking into smaller, easier sub.
Because we have a base 10 number system, so if you can break the numbers into 10, it works better in your brain.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, fuck new things. They can never be good.
No.
They're not as good as I learned when I was a kid.
Right? Which is funny because when you said do the 78 plus 23, I was doing Common Core math the other day with Anthony when we went and got coffee. He had a question on a math thing, and I did it the Common Core way, and it made me think about it. And this way, I just didn't. I did it as if it was written out on paper.
Yeah,
which is weird.
It's just, our brains learn a certain way, and like that's why teaching is its own like skill set, is because you're trying to like learn how to transfer information to the human brain in the best way, not just stating. I think that's what makes a really bad teacher, is someone who's really, really smart and understands it, and they just want to write the facts, and they're like, "Hey, you guys get it now?"
Right?
No, he does, but the rest of us are lost, bro.
Yeah, not that our main instructor is a bad teacher. He's very, very good. There are certain things that I think comes second nature to him, and he might brush past them at first because it doesn't make, like, in his mind, it just happens.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's just like he's been doing it for so long.
Do you have an example? I'm just curious.
Taking the back from guard.
What about it? It's just second nature.
Second nature, right? Well, there's a part where you end up with your clamp grip on their arm, and you need to rotate from your side to now get on top of them.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to let go of them to do it, right? And he explained it as, you just roll into your shoulder and get up. And it's not quite that. Like it is that. That's the very base form of that's what it is. But there's so many other steps that, like, a majority of people I've talked to that have done this move in the class have all gotten stuck at this one spot. And
it's an awkward move for sure.
Ryan was able to give context to it. He's like, this was an example where Ryan was also like, this one instance here, he doesn't teach as well because for him it just makes sense. And he's like, but for me, I couldn't do it for like months until I figured out this.
It's interesting because our main instructor also has moments like that where he's like, this didn't work for me for months.
Yeah.
And then I learned this like one specific detail, and it's just like,
yeah.
And it's just really cool because I've had that moment with a bunch of other things too, other techniques, where it was like I was doing it wrong, and then as soon as I switched it to get the piece that either I was taught and I just didn't catch on to, or maybe it was just one of the times you kind of gloss over it. It's interesting that everyone's collecting the details.
Mm-hmm. You're right, and all can be mended in.
What was the detail? Was it hooking the hip? Was it grabbing the lat?
It was two of them. The way our main instructor explained it, he didn't say anything about, let's say I'm getting your side, so I'm on my right.
Yep.
He didn't explain letting go of my right arm to bring it in. He just said, okay, now that you're here, roll onto your shoulder and get up.
Oh, actually, I did have a similar issue with that, actually.
So let go of the hand and bring your elbow under your torso.
Yeah, because I didn't know that it was okay that as you're coming up, that you actually, like, once you're here, pull that arm out.
Then plant. Exactly. That was exactly what I had an issue with.
Okay, I guess I didn't even realize that was I just figured it out eventually.
Right, and then the other part was the foot. Because this is like one of the rare... no, your bottom foot, your right foot in this instance, where you're posting off of your toes to stand up. Mm-hmm. Right? The way that it was described the first time I tried doing the class was just kind of like, all right, now we're here, roll onto your shoulder going north, and then you can step over. But it was like a rare moment where he was very under-detailed. I think it's just because it goes so naturally to him.
Well, because that movement is used in a lot of stuff. Yeah. So we might just, it might just literally be like...
This is just it.
There was an interesting concept I thought. I don't even know if it was jiu-jitsu related, but it was kind of like teaching related, where it was like, for example, it's like, grab my wrist. Okay. You didn't have to think about any part of that.
Yeah.
And like, I think it was jiu-jitsu related, where it's like, you know all the details of like how to move your arm, how to open your fingers, how to grab around a thing. Yeah. You didn't have to think about any part of that. You just made it happen. Mm-hmm. But understanding, like, if you've never used your arm before or something, teaching you how to grab my wrist is like a whole thing.
You sure this isn't programming?
It might be programming too, honestly.
Make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I can. To your specs, 100%. I love that when my English teacher did that for like the first time I ever saw that. Yeah. My English teacher actually did it, and I was like, that's cool. I want to write the worst way to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
And that's where it started.
You're going to follow my instructions and I'm in high school? It takes the entire jar of jelly and dumps it on its head. Trust me, I'm the author.
Was that your origin for wanting to go into coding?
No, but I did think that was really cool. Honestly, the part where I realized I really like programming was there's an intro program in the very first class I took where you program a little robot, and it's just on like a 2D.
Oh, the wall thing.
XY grid. Wall thing.
You keep going.
It's not really a wall thing, I don't think, but it's. Hey, you have to make this robot go 3 spaces up, go to the right, and pick up this little. Whatever. I don't remember what it was. It was like you pick up the dot or whatever. Basically, here are the commands you have. You can tell it to move forward 1 space. You can tell it to turn left, and you can tell it to pick up. Go. And you're like, oh, okay, this is easy. I go up, up, up.
Now you need to turn right. Uh-oh.
Oh, whoa. If you turn left 3 times, and then up, up, pick up. Got it. And then it changes the map or whatever, and it's like, now you have to make it go here. And doing that iteratively and just getting more and more complicated, I was like, oh, dang.
There's a RuneScape boss like that.
Okay.
Where you have to... I think it's...
We
it's,
have to
it's
turn left to defeat
maze.
him. Oh, no.
No, it's like it's trapped in a maze with a bunch of walls, and then depending on where you are, you need to get it to do the up, up, left type of thing.
Okay.
So you just have to do something similar, but in RuneScape. Speaking of learning, though, when are we going to learn that we should just stop giving Logan Paul any attention?
Who's that?
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. Moving on.
Because
You're doing it right now.
I know, but I'm mad at him.
This is the problem.
It is the problem.
This is the problem that we face every day. If it's not a person that you give negative attention to them or ironic attention to them, if it's not a person, it's a word.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember when that's lit. That's lit. Oh, I'm going to say it as a joke. It's funny. It's ironic. Yeah. And then it slips out genuinely. And you're like,
uh-oh.
I'm one of them.
Now, I'm thinking about it this way. Like, they don't know why we need to stop giving him attention. And what we could do is explain to them why we stopped giving him attention, but never give him notice on, like, Twitter or something like that. Never go tweet at him about it.
But no, because here's the problem with that, right?
Okay.
You say, hey, guys, okay.
This
is why you can't have a secret with more than one what is it? If you have a secret with more than one person, it's going to get out. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be like, hey, there's this bad person that no one should pay attention to. We are going to pay attention to him real quick just to illustrate to you guys why you should not pay attention to him. Okay? Don't pay attention to him. We explain it. And then they're like, wow, I do not want to pay attention to that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, friend, you shouldn't pay attention to this guy. Here's why.
Okay. We need you guys to be model listeners right now and not continue that thread after this.
Look, we have to do this.
It is a record.
We're on the clock. You don't.
Yeah.
If you want to tell a friend, just send them this.
Exactly. And then they'll know. They'll get it. You don't have to go through the hoops of trying to explain this, getting lost, playing the game of telephone. Just send them to us.
And definitely don't tag him on anything.
Yeah. Anyways,
okay, why are we all not paying attention to Logan Paul? And if I may, what is the difference between a Logan Paul and a Jake Paul?
Brothers.
What is the difference?
They both suck. You're right. They're both blonde hair,
what is
blue
the
eyes.
Difference?
Yeah. There isn't.
One's a boxer, I think.
They both box.
They both box?
Yeah.
No. What?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, they both box. They're both blonde-haired, blue-eyed guys that work out and have YouTube channels, and they've both done messed up things. So they're like the same.
Okay. Logan. We'll
Paul
focus on
recently,
Logan.
He tried making or he might have actually made it, but like a TikTok where he saved his dog who jumped out of the boat and was going towards the propeller of the boat. So he jumped into the water and saved the dog.
I hate it.
However, somebody was recording it happening, and Logan picked up his dog and threw him in the water near the propeller so that he could then jump in and make a video of him saving his dog.
How did I see that coming?
Because he's a bad person.
But also, when I said I hate it, I didn't mean I hated saving the dog from the boat propeller. I hated the part that was coming that I knew was coming.
I don't think you needed to clarify that.
I just wanted to. We still pay attention to me.
It reminds me of a meme I saw the other day where this girl was walking and she sees a dog on the side of the road. And she goes, "Oh my God, what is that?" And the person goes, a dog, and then puts her headphones on and keeps walking. And the other girl that asked originally was like, wait, no, I meant the breed. So she tries to chase after it. I don't want them to think I'm dumb. I know what a dog is. I've seen a dog before.
Oh,
and
I
it's
love
like
it.
a 9-page comic of her trying to chase this person disappearing, right? Keep getting Where's Waldo'd away. And the girl ends up in the hospital because she gets hit by a car trying to cross the street to get to this person.
She gets hit and she wakes up to all the people around her, like calling the whatever, trying to resuscitate her. She's like, what was that? It was a car. No!
Very similar. So she wakes up in the hospital, right? And they're like, okay, we're going to take this syringe. We're going to get you in there, and then we can get you all set up. And she goes, oh, cool. What is that? And they go, it's a syringe. And then she's like, no! And so she rips out of the hospital bed and starts chasing the doctor down. And the last panel is it was the original person from the dog part that was the doctor as well. It was good.
That's like my joke when people ask vague stuff to me and I try to make them look stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be the dog guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's messed up. It's stupid. And I have that thought of what Logan Paul did whenever I like an animal related thing on Instagram.
Like, what if?
No, I watch through it all the way. Like if I see something, oh, that's cute, I don't immediately like it until it's gone through the whole thing. Because I feel like sometimes you can tell whether or not the person is being a bad person or a good person.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I this might be controversial.
Okay.
I think that some people are smarter than Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they might be able to hide it a little bit
How
better.
can you say something so brave?
I know.
Daring, but so true.
I know. Just statistically, it's got to be true, though. Have you seen the one of, it's like they open their door and the snow is like up like 3 feet or however many 3 feet is. And they're like, it's so funny, look. And they shake the bag of treats and the cat jumps through the wall of snow.
Yeah.
But then you slow it down and you see the hand throwing the cat through the... So they took the cat outside around the building or whatever and threw it through the snow. And the cat was like...
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I've stopped liking like...
Which wasn't too traumatic for the cat, I don't think. But like
yeah,
that idea.
Still, fabricated. It's the same problem that family YouTube channels have.
What, family YouTube channels?
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
So there are a subsect of YouTube channel where it's a daily life in this family.
Weird.
And they'll do like pranks on their kids, or they'll involve their like single digit aged kids on their videos. But a lot of the time it's incredibly predatory, right? Where it'll be like, okay, so we're going to teach Buddy that it's okay to share or something like that. And they're going to fabricate a situation where they give Buddy something that he really wants and then force him to give it away to his brother or sister to share. So it's not like necessarily bad, but they coax it with like, oh, you want this cookie? This cookie's for you. You could have this cookie. Give the cookie to your sister, you know? And it's just like small things like that over time start to traumatize the kid and really push him away. And then the pranks start to escalate further and further and further until they have the kids like getting arrested to show some sort of, you know, it's just a prank, you know? It's
Oh no, they let the regular YouTube pranksters become parents.
Yeah.
It's just a prank. It's just assault. Ha.
Yeah. It's bad. I think there's been a few cases within this year, I think like 2 of them actually, of parents getting arrested for like harming their children in this way.
Thanks. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I still feel like there's like no reason for anyone under the age of like 16 to be on the internet.
Right?
Just ban them all.
Get rid of them. I know it's now that I'm getting older and I'm on Reddit, you can tell sometimes very easily that you're like, that's a child that wrote this post. I don't like this.
Block.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Yep. Delete from internet.
Gone. Oh, I was going to say on Instagram, I've stopped watching the videos of like, we rescued this dog, we rescued this cat, because I feel like every single one of those is fabricated.
But yeah, if you rescued them, cool.
Why did you have your camera out at the time?
Yeah.
And like, why was it, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to film this person in this dog in a tar pit. And then I'll put my phone away, walk over, get it out. And then I'm not going to clean it off there. I'm going to go all the way home, set up my setup so it's nice lighting, and then clean. Like, it's just, even if it's good and you're saving the animal, you're doing it in the least good way.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. So I don't get those anymore on my feed.
You might as well just throw it into a propeller off a boat.
Yeah.
Freaking first Christy Nome, then Logan Paul.
Exactly. And yeah, Logan's been going on one. He's like he sued. Yeah, there's a lot with Logan Paul.
He should go back to the forest.
He should and stay there. And there's more stuff with Andrew Tate recently too. He's been detained again.
Another person you shouldn't give
Yeah.
any attention
I
to.
know.
Don't do it.
Stop it, Brayden. God damn it. You had a hypothetical or something that you wanted to ask me.
Oh, we're just gonna shoot. Okay.
I'm getting away from the people I'm not supposed to talk about.
Good, Braden. Who's good, Braden?
I am. I'm a good
Okay,
boy.
I'm curious. Okay. I want you to answer honestly.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can do that while you're being recorded. You're usually just nothing but lies. But
Yeah. Yeah.
well, let's say it's Saturday night
Okay. I've had
You're-
one of those before.
at the gym or wherever you
Okay.
be,
Yeah.
and you get a call.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
and it's my girlfriend,
hmm
and she asks you, "Do you know where Buddy is?"
Okay.
What do you say? You know those videos, right? Where it's like the girlfriend is with the guy, and she calls his best friend to like see, if you will lie or whatever. What would you do?
Okay. So you're saying like she calls.
She calls.
Hey,
she sounds.
Hey, Brayden,
worried
I
or
heard
something.
it's worried. It's not. Do you know where Buddy is, or is it like I'm just calling to check up on Buddy. I haven't been able to hear from him, and I know he was hanging out with you earlier today.
I haven't heard from him tonight. I don't even know if I want to
But-
slip in that he was hanging out with.
Well, there's
me
no
tonight.
implication that he's hanging out with me beforehand.
Just like, hey, is he with you? Because I haven't heard
Right.
from him for a couple hours or something. He's not answering his phone. Or,
Yeah, I would just say no. I don't know where he is. I haven't heard from him.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not gonna cover for me?
No, because if she's worried and hasn't like heard from you for a minute, I would be worried too. I'm like, oh crap, I'll give him a call. I don't know.
What if there's like hints of like, oh, I think he was talking about hanging out with someone. I just didn't know if you were with them or something.
Still no, and then I'd ask more questions.
Okay. What if you thought that I was hanging out with a girl?
Still no, and then I'd ask questions. I don't think it would change at all.
Okay. I'm just curious. I just want to know if you would
I'm
cover
sorry,
for
if
me.
you're gonna try to cheat on somebody, I'm not covering for you.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Now let's say I'm there on a Saturday night, not at the gym,
Okay.
because I wouldn't be.
Right.
And I get a call from your girlfriend,
Okay.
and she asks me similar questions. What would you want me to answer?
What I would want you to answer the same way I would answer.
You think so?
Mhm.
You don't want cover? What if you're trying to cheat?
No, I don't want cover.
Okay.
Because I like in that instance, if I've gone down a path where I am okay with me getting short-term pleasure at the expense of somebody else getting hurt further down the line, I want to be called out for it. I've gone too far into whatever like weird,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, mental hell I've entered into. Like I'd rather it all come crashing down
Okay.
than continue to like hurt people.
Okay. Mini rewind.
Okay.
It's
I can-
Saturday noon, and I call you or I see you at jiu-jitsu or something. I was like,
Yes.
hey, just so you know, like, I've got a surprise or something tonight. Don't tell my girlfriend.
Okay.
If she asks, say that I'm with you or
Right.
whatever. Would you? Okay.
I would at that point.
Okay. What if I'm lying to you?
Why would I assume you're lying to me?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, hey, assuming he's being honest.
Honesty? Oh, yeah, I'll call. Immediately, I'd be like, no, he's not with me. I would.
Actually, last time he was over at my house, I installed the tracker on him. We can find out where he is now.
Do you think he was smart enough to remove the AirTag from the sole of his shoe? I don't.
Okay. Good. That's what I would want.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if you asked
I was just
me
curious.
to cover for you, at that point, I would then cover for you because I have no reason to assume ill intent.
Not even platonically.
Not even platonically.
But yeah, I was like, why would you want to? Your friends are supposed to make you, like, push you to be a better person, not encourage you to be a worse person.
Right. Along the same vein, I feel like I would never do the test call like that.
Oh yeah, I
just feel like it's a whole other level of like something's wrong. You know,
oh,
if you're
interesting.
if you're gonna be like if I were in a relationship and I felt the need to call and test the loyalty of my partner's friends and whether or not they're lying for them, there's bigger issues.
But have you considered that you're doing it and you're recording it for views online?
In that case, I would do it. Yeah.
Which is what they always make it look like as a joke.
Right.
Ha ha ha! Your friend would lie to me.
It's
See,
like, it's like a joke. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't like approach it as I don't know. I guess it's hard to say without like people actually knowing. But I wouldn't want to do that in general unless it was for the video. It wouldn't be like, oh, I want to do this. How can I get away with it? Oh, let's make it a video.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what everyone would say.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna say it that. They're like, no.
But guys, he said he was gonna be honest.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just interesting. Okay.
This one time I was 100% factual. One time.
This one time.
Do
you believe
in magic?
Sure. Do you believe in magic?
Yeah, it's a card game. Our head instructor used to play. You know that?
I did know that.
Oh.
I did know that actually. Yes.
Yeah, he said if I can find Magic the Gathering Jiu-Jitsu references, he'll start using them.
Yeah.
So I want to.
A technique that shuts down another technique is just a counterspell.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start saying counterspell whenever I shut someone's technique down.
Counterspell.
Counterspell. Counterspell. Counterspell. Snuff out.
Brave of you to attack my guard when I have 2 open blue mana.
Oh, man. Okay, cool. I'm going to look for that now, I guess. Do you believe in randomness?
Do I believe in randomness?
Is anything random?
Is anything random? Yeah, I'll believe in randomness. Now, I think it's so hard, right? Because randomness, I think a lot of people think of randomness as like, it's truly 100% anything could happen. And I think it is more of within a certain guideline, what happens is not guaranteed. It could be random. It could be this, it could be that. You don't know what.
Right. Like,
for example, I'm playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. This happened this last weekend. It was my opponent's turn. At the end of their turn, they were going to die. They had a timer, and they needed to kill me that turn.
Mm-hmm.
They found a way to do it. I had one out, which was snuff out. And to get there, I had a few ways I could help increase the odds of getting it. I could sacrifice creatures to look at the top card of my library, put on top or on bottom.
Sure.
Right?
You cheat.
Yeah.
You could pull the copy you always keep in your sleeves.
Yeah. I just wasn't wearing my sleeves that day.
You take off your shirt, just snuff out, stapled all over your body. Babe, do you have protection? Oh, yeah.
So I was looking through the cards, which all those cards are within the bounds of the deck that I made. And there's a card I'm looking for, but the card that's on top is random. So I was looking at the top, putting on the bottom, looking at the top, putting on the bottom, looking at the top, putting on the bottom. I did it, I think, 4 times. And the next card I drew, I was hoping was snuff out. It wasn't. It was just another random card within the cards I'd put into the deck. So given the guideline of the deck I built, any of the cards in there was random. It was going to be one of the cards, but which one was random?
Okay. I don't think... I think that with perfect information about how you put your deck away and perfect information about how you shuffle, I would know the entire way that game plays out. Like, I don't think any of it's random. How you shuffled is not perfectly random, right? It's going to put the card in a certain spot. How you choose to scry, if I know your brain well enough, is not random. You're going to scry up and down. You're going to dig for that card a certain number of times.
Yeah.
You are or you are not going to get that card, and you are or are not going to be able to cast it to win the game.
I don't know. I feel like you can be correct more often than not in a guess of saying I'm not going to get snuff out in that situation.
But I don't think it's a guess.
You don't think so?
I just don't think we have access to that as perfect information as we need. But if you did, if you had
maybe, because like I think given a smaller sample size, where the choices are limited to like there's 3 possible outcomes, but which one's going to happen you don't know, you can look at that with logic and figure out which one is going to happen, or which one has the highest probability of happening.
Maybe this is a little bit easier than Game of Magic, and more people might know. A roulette table.
Okay.
Has 38 spaces, right?
Yeah.
1 through 36,
Well,
0,
on
and
if
double
you're
0.
America
We're
or France.
American.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
0, double 0, 1 through 36.
Mhm.
They're arranged in a set way. You see the wheel. It's on there.
Yeah.
It's spinning at a steady velocity,
Right.
right? You have the ball, and the tabler guy spins it, right? From like the second that the ball leaves his fingers, if you know all the data, you should be able to know where the ball lands,
I
right?
think that's different.
Why?
Because that one, you know the set numbers that are on there. And then that was just a simple calculation of like, if you're smart enough to know the velocity of it, you can know exactly where it's going to end.
Okay.
Right? That one is not even, it's only random because we're letting it be random. We're not looking into the math behind it to figure it out. And it'd also be really hard if you're really smart to do it that quick.
You couldn't do it that quick, right? But like if you had a camera or whatever, like a slow motion camera or whatever, you see the wheel rotating, and then you like freeze frame it as the ball's coming out, like as soon as it's leaving the guy's hand. You should be able to, like, if you have enough time and processing, you probably need a computer. You could figure out where the ball lands, right?
Yeah, I just feel like that's different.
But you agree that could happen?
Yeah, I think that one I think is I think blackjack is another really good example of counting cards. Where if you're playing blackjack and you're not doing anything and you're just playing it, to you, whatever card gets flipped over is random. But if you're counting cards, you may not know exactly what it is, but you might know if it's a high card or a low card.
Yeah.
Right? Is that kind of what you're getting at? Where like a game that is perceived as random, if you know the right information, you can make it 99% less random.
Even more than that.
Even more. You can make it 100% less random. I don't think there's ever a time where you can say he's going to draw a jack of hearts.
But to be clear, I don't think like we have the technology for this. But if we eventually, I think we're going to have enough processing power and stuff with how fast stuff is growing that if you had a sufficiently complicated computer model, you could watch the casino for like 3 days or something. You know all the workers' schedules, where they go, and you'd have to have like a crazy amount of knowledge. But you would know how the dealer shuffles.
I mean, if you're omnipotent,
if you are the opponent of the...
if you have omniscience... why is the word so hard?
River.
Antarctica.
Don't you hate when you're playing poker and you miss the river?
Yeah. Then sure.
Omniscience.
But I feel like...
But so I'm taking like a very low level example. Mm-hmm. I was going to say roulette, right? If you agree that if you freeze frame it right when it leaves the dude's hand, you can predict where the ball's going to go. Why can't you do the same calculation? Like, how much more information do you really need to back it up 1 second and get the same answer? You need to know how hard that guy's hand is going to flick the ball, right? Basically. Mm-hmm. Why can't you do it 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps? Basically,
I just feel like in a game of cards, you have 52 cards, right? Like a playing deck, not Magic. And I shuffle, mm-hmm. right? You might know how I shuffle, and you might be able to figure out, like, on average, because my shuffle is not perfectly the same every single time.
No. So
you can say on average it does this, but then I hand it off to my left or whatever to cut. And then you can say on average they're going to cut, and they don't even know, but they grab with this part of the thumb, they lift up and put it down. But we don't know the variable of that. The random part is, what if that time they decided to take all but the bottom one?
But why do they decide
random. That moment was random?
You think them deciding to take all but the bottom one is random?
Yeah, for me.
Well, but assume like, is it random for them? Are your decisions random?
Okay, so I think that just muddies a line that doesn't need to be muddied, because obviously everything I do is predetermined by actions that happen before them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But how they manifest, I don't know if we need to say that it's... I don't know. Like, I feel like it just crosses a line that doesn't need to be crossed. It goes far enough. Like, I don't know.
Here's my idea, basically, is that if you go all the way back to the... Do you know what a random seed is?
Yeah.
Okay. basically, I think that the Big Bang
Is a
was
random
the seed.
Okay.
And since the moment of the Big Bang, everything has been predetermined based on like math. As soon as it explodes, right? It bangs.
Yeah.
It bangs.
Mm.
If you have a really crazy, sophisticated computer, you can map out every single particle, every single atom and subatomic particle, figure out what its velocity is, all the gravity of the other particles are going to interact with it. You can map collisions. You can time lapse it over billions of years and figure out like, oh, based on this Big Bang, the way that things are organized right now, there's going to be a planet. It's going to be called Earth because the humans that arrive there are going to call it Earth because of we mapped out that how these atoms are going to line up in their brains. It's going to form these synapses that are going to trigger the word Earth.
Right. Now,
and the brain's not going to draw snuff out.
And then brain's
but Buddy is going to draw sign in blood.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so I see what you're saying. You're Doctor Stranging it up, right? But doing this one, do you not think that with every individual option that happens, you need to map out what happens for both options, and you get this giant web of like,
no,
this didn't happen. This you don't think so? You don't think it's going to be okay?
So like, give me an example. If you have an option, what are your two things you're mapping out? What's one
dinner.
fork?
It's time for dinner.
Yes.
I'm gonna have my heel.
Okay.
I have the chicken Alfredo or the spicy one.
Mm-hmm.
I can choose either.
You can.
Yeah.
But I think your choice has already been locked in.
I think my choice has already been.
How are you not? If I know every molecule in your brain and how your brain works, how do I not know what choice you're going to make?
Because you don't know whether or not I'm getting influence from outside people.
But I do, because I also know how all their brains work.
But you can't account. Can you account for a call dropping? Let's say I'm on the phone and I'm talking to somebody and say, I'm going to go have dinner. What do you think I should have? They're like, oh, you should go with the chicken or maybe the spicy. You should go with the spicy, and they're having that conversation. But in the middle of it, the call drops.
I know every single atom in the universe. And so obviously I know the call's going to drop because the NSA guy has to take a break. So he drops your call so that he can go pee real quick.
My FBI agent has to go use the restroom. So he.
Yeah, I knew that because I counted the number of atoms in his bladder.
Okay. If you are to that level, you're the Silver Surfer or whatever it is from the comic books, then yeah, I think randomness for you probably doesn't exist. But for you and I.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't think randomness exists. Whether or not we can map out reality like that, I don't think that affects whether or not it exists.
So have you ever played the game of you hey, I want you to do this. What's it worth to you? Right? And they say, oh, or what are the chances you would do this? They say 1 in 10.
Okay.
And you go, okay, 1 in 10. And you can do it in a couple different ways where you both count down and then you say a number between 1 and 10. And if you both match up that number, the person does it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you do like a random number generator. And you say, what's the number? And they give you the number and you hit enter. And if that number pops up the same one, then they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it happen where I had a not a bet like this, but like, what are the chances you'll do this? Say 1 in 10. Okay, what number? And they say 4. Then I hit random number generator, and a 4 popped up.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe RNG doesn't exist. Maybe it was just predetermined.
It all is. Basically, whether God exists or not, I think the Big Bang was like the first domino.
You think we were the first domino?
The Big Bang was.
You think the Big Bang?
And I think the Big Bang was
for Earth.
Not tipping the first domino, right? And then from then on, nothing about a domino track is random. This domino has this domino. It's just, a lot of dominoes.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we call randomness would exist for you and I, but if you were Silver Surfer, but like Doctor Strange, if you were.
But so I think that's what science is, though, is just trying to like unrandomize the pieces that we can. The more information,
the thread of fate.
The more information we get, the more we can see ahead in the random chain of cycle or the random chain. But if we had the most information, we would see the whole chain.
Mhm.
I don't think we could ever really get there, but
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're perfect, then it works. But it's like if you have the gift of like future sight, but the further you look ahead, the more possibilities open up. So you'd have to.
But
look.
I don't believe in those extra possibilities. I think you're locked in.
You think you're locked in?
Like, you know how there's different versions of time travel where it's
Mhm.
like, oh, you go back and you know, made out with your mom at the high school rock band party or whatever, and then she married your dad, and that like you almost erased yourself from the photographs. That's Back to the Future, by the way.
Okay.
Or there's the other time travel where it's like you go back and you do this thing and you're like, oh, this is gonna have crazy effects. So you go back to the future and you're like, actually, that always had happened.
Yeah. Well.
I think it's that. I think it's all just one river.
Yeah. One river. Yeah. In the example I have, like you go forward, you see all the possibilities.
He said it right.
Did I say forward?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm getting broken. Oh no. We're speaking too much about randomness. The R's coming back.
Yes. As was always going to be the case.
For today. You see all the possibilities, but seeing the possibilities doesn't matter because that just gives you more information that you would have known. So I see all the possibilities, but it doesn't matter that I see all the possibilities and what I'm going to do because Buddy knows that I'm going to see all that and then make a decision based off of those.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, the decision I'm going to make was always going to happen. I don't know. I mean, sure. I just don't think we need to go that far. I don't know.
Okay. I thought it was interesting.
Do you feel like your life is invalidated by that? Does it help you with grieving? This, like, what's the difference between that and God has a plan?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it kind of stemmed from is free will a thing?
I think that still doesn't.
Yeah, no, kind of, maybe. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
yeah,
I don't think
you
that
can make
means
any choice you
don't
want,
have.
but all your choices come from where you were born in time, who you were born to, who your third grade teacher was. Like,
Yeah, you still. I think you still have free will. It's like if I'm running a campaign for D&D, the more I can railroad it without feeling I railroad it, the better. Right?
you think God's just railroading life?
Yeah, I think so. He's giving us the illusion of choice, even though we don't have a choice.
Okay.
He's like,
So what you're saying is I'm right. There is no actual free will.
sure, we can go down there, but I think if at a grand enough scope, you're right. But for us, it doesn't. We do.
I agree.
We can't quantify it enough to say no.
I agree.
Okay.
We don't have free will, but we kind of just have to live like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, that's why I don't believe in God.
Okay.
Because if he started the Big Bang, he knew everything that was going to happen. So he created
He has a plan.
however many percent. But here's the problem with the plan, where to me it doesn't matter if he exists or not. I wouldn't like him.
Yes, but where does this knowing everything meet with infinity? Or does that mean we have a finite end?
I don't know. I don't know if infinity can be a thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't think something can continue to go on forever? Whether it be
What would that even mean? How would you even know?
I don't know. We could be at several iterations into our infinity right now.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. All I know is
You mean we're right at the beginning?
Donald J. Trump says that in 1775 they had airports and airplanes.
True.
And maybe they did, and we just forgot. It was so long ago that.
I looked at all the atoms in the universe and they did not.
What?
Yeah.
You're telling me that before the founding of our great nation, we didn't have America or airplanes and air
I know. It's wild.
airports?
Yep.
Weird.
It's crazy. Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
Thank you. I might be crazy, but at least I don't have free will. So it's not my fault.
It's not
None of my choices have consequences.
Why didn't you do your homework? It's not my fault. It was predetermined.
Look, it all started
Have you ever heard of
4
the Big
billion
Bang?
years ago. I'm going to fast forward like 14 billion years. Have you ever heard of the formation of Earth?
Yeah, it feels like a Kirkzat video. Kurzizat.
I just really hope someone is high right now.
While listening, you like blew their mind. They're the meme of the guy that's like aliens right now.
Yeah, because I knew they were going to be high. Everyone knows you're high. Right now.
We can tell.
We
you
know.
Should be paranoid.
We're coming for you.
Can you hear that? Are they at your door?
Ow. I knocked on the floorboard instead of the
hard.
Yeah. Oops.
Man, that was an interesting little tangent. We're almost done with the episode here, and I didn't even get into like my vacation just went on or nothing. Wow.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Go for it. 2 minutes. Go.
We have more time for next time.
Yay.
Yeah. For our we'll probably forget forever. I feel like there's always something that I want to talk about each episode. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to talk about that. And then 4 days go by. I'm like, I don't remember.
You know what you should do?
Huh?
Write it down.
No, it's not determined that way. Not in the stars.
I think you're going to write it down. I'll write it down for you.
You'll write it down for me?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start up a voice chain.
What is it?
No.
See, was that random or was I always meant to pick up the banana peel?
Following your logic always.
What is a banana peel versus the banana's clothing? Why do you eat them naked, Braden?
I don't like the clothing.
What fruits do you eat with the clothing on?
Tomato.
What fruits do you eat with the clothing on?
Give me another chance. Pear.
Ew. Apple.
Apple.
How do you not get apple?
I don't know.
Peach.
It's skinned in my
Do you
head.
eat peaches with the fuzz? And the boots with the fur?
Yeah. I want some edamame.
With the... No, you get those naked, though, for sure.
Yeah.
You might suck on the clothes a little bit.
I take the edamame and I make a mukamame.
What?
I don't know why there's a difference, but I might be wrong. I think edamame is the soybean thing inside...
Of the pod?
The pod. And mukamame is just outside of the pod. It's mame, and it's either muka or eda.
Does it not become muka when you suck it?
I think when you suck it, you make it muka. But you got it. It entered your mouth as eda.
Okay.
Yeah.
But... okay.
Right? Okay, yeah.
I don't like that.
I think that's what it is. I think that's the difference. Like, look up mukamame. I'm pretty sure that it's just...
How does one spell it?
M-U...
Wrong, I-T.
I don't have to feel bad about this. This was always determined.
True, it
Beat 'em
was. I was meant to die. And that's why I brought this whole thing up. Most edamame soybeans, mukimame beams come from Asia. No, that's not what I want. Is edamame and mukamame the same thing from Quora? They would never lie.
R?
Is.
Shouldn't it be R?
Edamame, when sold in a pod, or mukimame, when sold as individual beans, is the end result of soybeans picked at its peak of green maturity. They are the most mature of the beans.
Nice.
The least childish.
Okay.
I might have added that part. Weird. Yeah. No, it's literally... I think... This is just when it's sold.
When it's sold? Well, yeah, because when you...
Ooh, this guy. Scott Krager. A BA from... BA.
Yeah.
Bachelor's of Arts? Or is it just bachelor's?
Badass
from Seattle Pacific University. All right, brace yourselves for a dive into the world of beans. When we're talking about edamame or mukamame, we're essentially discussing two sides of the same coin. Yes, they both hail from the same plant, the glorious soybean. But here's where the distinction kicks in, and it's all about presentation and preparation. Edamame is the whole, immature soybean pod you often get served at Japanese restaurants, maybe before a hearty bowl of ramen or alongside your sushi. These green pods are lightly boiled or steamed and sprinkled with some salt. The joy of edamame is in the experience. You pop the beans out of the pod right into your mouth. It's not just a snack. It's an interactive experience.
This guy's passionate.
Now, swing the camera over to mukamame. Imagine you've done all the work of popping those beans out. What you have left are the actual soybean sands, their cozy pods. Mukamame are these shelled edamame beans, ready to eat without the extra step of depotting. They're incredibly versatile, ready to jump into your salads, stir fries, or even just to be eaten as is. Wow. I think he prefers edamame.
That's crazy. Yeah,
It's
Scott
an interactive experience.
Yeah, Scott the Bean Arbiter is crazy.
Oh, bean artist.
Yeah.
How do you get a bean artist degree?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's the original. I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
Go on, say it.
I think that's about all the time we got for you guys today.
I think so. I think we've hit our marker.
Yeah, we talked about some very important things, mostly soybeans.
Mostly soybeans.
Moist soybeans.
Yeah.
And how to suck them.
Well, it's from the left bowl, not the right bowl. If you grab
Yep.
the right bowl, you get other.
But on the bright side, you were always meant to suck my spit.
True, and I was always meant to lose my virginity with a glove. It's not weird. It wasn't my choice.
The thumb was predetermined. And it was always meant for you to like this video and leave a comment about whether or not randomness is real.
And to not talk about Logan. Stop talking about Logan Paul.
Do not comment. Please don't comment Logan Paul. Comment almost anyone else.
Oh, not Andrew Tate, not Jake Paul, Craig Jones.
Ooh, we can do my favorite way of, you know how people are worried about like their information getting online? It's like, I don't want people knowing my search history or like where I live. I like the other way. I think we need to bombard the system with too much information. Comment all of the people that we shouldn't be talking about.
Wow. That's
all
a lot.
of them.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's go for it. I want to learn me something.
I want a list.
Learn me something good. A list.
A list of all the douches I
missed
You've
never
talking
what?
about because I never talk about them.
Oh. you never sucked or what, these douches?
Unless they're edamame becoming mukamame in my mouth.
From Edda to Muka. A story of mommy.
Is that why you know this?
No. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Well, I won't really catch you guys unless I
I think Diver's good.
Diver's really good.
Balls!
Oh!
We were one off. Wait, what else could it be?
River?
River.
God damn it.